Governor Matawale approved the constitution of 14-man committee for the distribution of Ramadan welfare package. The Sultanate Council Sokoto has advised Muslims to look out for the new law. Sokoto State has started trips for quarantine. In business, FAC shares 780.93 billion naira for March. And on the international scene, the 3 journalists test politics for coronavirus in India. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. My name is Samira Ibrahim. Now in the news in full. The Zamfara State Governor Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradon has approved the constitution of 14-man committee for the distribution of 2020 Ramadan fasting packages to people of the state. The governor, in a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, SSG Alhaji Bala Bello Sarkin Kudu Maru, said the committee, which has the former Deputy Governor Malam Ibrahim Muhammad Wakala Liman as its chairman, also comprises other members that include the former Deputy Governor Alhaji Mukhtar Ahmed Anka, the Speaker State House of Assembly Alhaji Nasiru Ma'azu Magaria, State PDP Chairman Alhaji Ibrahim Mallaha, the former Speaker Zamfara State House of Assembly Alhaji Bature Umar Sambo, and Alhaji Malami Aliyu Enduto, Chairman Local Government Service Commission. Other members include Sheikh Tukur Sani Jangebe, Commissioner, Ministry for Religious Affairs, Alhaji Usman Dankalile Bakura, Professor Kabiru Umar Jabaka, Chairman Zakat Board, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry for Religious Affairs, the Executive Secretary, Zakat Board, Director General, Protocol Government House, Abubakar Mohammed Sikido, and Alhaji Abubakar Jafar Maradun, Personal Principal Secretary, PPS to the Executive Governor, to serve as Secretary of the committee. The committee has the responsibility of not only distribution of the items provided, but also to ensure the strict monitoring of the exercise. Governor Matawale therefore urged the people of the state to use the month of Ramadan in their prayers for the state peace and tranquility, and also seek for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's intervention to overcome the current COVID-19 pandemic bedeviling the nation and the world at large. Former governor and APC leader in Zamfara State Alhaji Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar distributes 21,000 bags of assorted grains to APC members in the state. This was disclosed by an APC chieftain who doubled as a member of the 7-man committee for distribution at the state level, Alhaji Muhammad Muttaqarini, on behalf of the state chairman of the party, Alhaji Lawal M. Liman. Alhaji Muttaqarini said the Ramadan welfare package will be distributed to the party members, orphans and other needy across the state to cushion the hardship that emanates from coronavirus lockdown and Ramadan period. According to him, it has been the hobby of the former governor Abdulaziz Yari to support needy and less privileged, which he sustained. He explained that each local government area of the state will receive 600 bags of rice, 300 bags of millet, 300 bags of maize, and 200 bags of sugar, and same quantity will be given to the state headquarters of the APC, in addition to the 14 local governments. He said an 11-man committee have been inaugurated to ensure proper distribution of the gesture in each of the 14 local government areas of the state. Alhaji Muttaqarini, who expressed optimism that the welfare packages will be judiciously distributed, said the committee members are trustworthy, who will also distribute their own welfare to the people. He recalled that last year the former governor distributed Ramadan and Salah welfare packages to 40,000 orphans and less privileged across the 17 emirates of the state. The Sultanate Council in Sokoto has advised Muslims to look out for the new moon of Ramadan 1441 after Hijrah today. A statement signed by the Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs at the Council, Professor Sambowali Junaid, said Thursday the 23rd of April 2020 is equivalent to 29th of Sha'ban 1441 and shall be the day to look for the new moon of Ramadan. The statement further advised that sighting of the new moon should be reported to the nearest village or district head for onward communication to His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar. It also added that the sighting of the new moon could be communicated directly to the Sultan through the following telephone numbers: 080 37 15 7100 or 070 67 41 6900. The Sokoto state government has announced that it will trace and quarantine those who had direct contact with the single recorded index case for the past 2 weeks. Briefing newsmen at the press center in Sokoto, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Muhammad Ali Innemi, who is also the chairman task force on COVID-19, said all necessary measures have been put in place by the state government to prevent spread of the deadly disease. He also disclosed that the task force was conducting an investigation to ascertain the source of the infection. The commissioner further added that as part of measures, the government will put machineries in motion to go for active search of suspected cases, especially those with severe respiratory infections. According to him, the National Youth Service Corps NYSC orientation camp at Wamako will be used as quarantine center. Dr. Ali Innemi appealed to the general public to observe precautionary measures, especially social distancing, which he said is the most effective one to contain spread of the disease. He also announced that the state government has embarked on fumigation of public health facilities across the state with a view to checking the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic to other parts of the state. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol of Sokoto State has passed a strong warning on the lockdown order issued by his government to checkmate the spread of coronavirus in the state. He gave the warning while receiving a situation report from the State Task Force Committee on curtailing the spread of the COVID-19 in the state. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol, who spoke in a harsh mood, also announced a ban on all international borders across the state.
Nobody will be allowed to hold preaching sessions or conduct the Tarawih prayers during this month of Ramadan in Sokoto State. Now, before these people have been criticizing us over this issue, there was somebody who even alleged that I'm a drunkard, while I've never drunk alcohol in my life and I've never ordered his arrest. But I'm appealing to you to respect yourself and the people of this state and your trusting followers, because this time around, we are ready to go to any length to punish whomsoever disregard this order.
The warning on public gatherings for tafsir and Tarawih prayers in the month of Ramadan was in adoption of the recommendation of the Sultanate Council on Boots. On the ban on international market, Governor Tambol said it was as a result of the recommendation by the State Task Force on COVID-19 that their continued operation was contributing to the fast spread of the virus. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has recovered from COVID-19 and has tested negative twice to the virus. The governor disclosed this in a series of tweets through his official handle on Wednesday, thanking God for his recovery. The governor expressed delight that after nearly 4 weeks of observing a strict medical regime, he had now received the all-clear after 2 consecutive negative test results. He thanked Almighty Allah for His grace and mercy and acknowledged with gratitude the massive outpouring of sympathy, prayers and public support that followed the disclosure of the infection. Governor Nasir El-Rufai also revealed that his family went through trauma during his battle with the virus and lauded them for being supportive as usual. He said his family not only went through the trauma of potentially losing a member, but also the risk of being infected as well. The entire family have been supportive as usual, while my friends and colleagues from all over the world have sent their prayers and best wishes. Also, he thanked the Ministry of Health and Baraudi Teaching Hospital for their help, while acknowledging the leadership qualities of his deputy, Dr. Hadiza Balarabi, who has been running the state. The governor thanked the diligent medical personnel of the Ministry of Health and the Baraudi Teaching Hospital, who managed his case for their dedication and professional care. He expressed happiness with the determined effort of the COVID-19 Task Force Committee, chaired by the Deputy Governor, the officials of the Ministry of Health, ably led by the Commissioner, and the security and enforcement agencies that manage and contain the spread of COVID-19 in the state. He said the commitment, competence and capabilities displayed by the Kaduna State government in his 4 weeks absence is clear evidence that they have a public service they can all be proud of. The Kwara State government on Wednesday said it will produce and distribute about 1 million face masks for the people in the fight of COVID-19. The announcement was made by the state governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak during a meeting with civil society movement in the state. Governor Abdulrazak said his administration is constantly reviewing its strategy in curtailing the spread of the virus. Kwara State may receive as low as 1.5 billion naira from the federal government from May, down from an average of 3 million naira in the previous month, as the NNPC might be unable to contribute anything to the national purse. The world is in a dire strait, no resources. We need to balance expectation with available resources, and we are reviewing the budget. He said they will have to cut down some capital projects, but they will prioritize social investment and build a new economy based on new realities. Borno State has recorded second death from COVID-19. The state deputy governor and chairman high-powered response team for the prevention and control of COVID-19, Alhaji Umar Kadafur, stated this during the daily briefing of the committee in Maiduguri. Alhaji Kadafur said the disease was from Biu local government area of the state and has no contact with the index case. According to him, 55 people have been tested negative, while 144 contacts have been traced. The deputy governor expressed concern that some contacts are resisting COVID-19 tests, calling on the public to give necessary support to the committee. On the lockdown, which had started yesterday night, Alhaji Umar Kadafur said the government has put in place palliatives to cushion the impact. He explained that the security agents have been directed to ensure compliance and protect lives and property of the citizenry during the period. A member of the correspondent chapel, Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) Adamawa State Council, has tested positive for coronavirus. Hence, the authorities have directed all members to go on self-isolation with immediate effect. Pen Pushing reports that this was confirmed in a statement issued on Wednesday, signed by Isaac Donald Didan, chairman, and Fidelis Joktan, secretary, respectively, and further ordered the closure of press center with effect from Tuesday. The council, in similar vein, ordered that henceforth members across the 9 chapels should start operating from home, stressing that only accredited journalists from various mediums will cover the daily briefings from the Adamawa Coronavirus Containment Committee. Following the painful discovery of one index case of COVID-19 victim in Adamawa State, the Nigerian Union of Journalists is directing all its members across the 9 chapels to start operating from home with effect from Thursday, 23rd of April 2020. Consequently, as the said first index victim emanates from the correspondent chapel of the NUJ, all members should go on self-isolation with immediate effect. It is imperative to ask all journalists to adhere strictly to safety measures against COVID-19. With this development, the leadership of NUJ has shut down all other activities and businesses at the Press Center, Yola, with effect from Friday, 24th April 2020. Pen Pushing also reports that the union called on the Coronavirus Committee to urgently provide journalists covering its daily briefings and other activities with necessary safety materials and resources to enable them perform their functions effectively. The NUG urged the public to always see journalists as partners in progress as well as critical stakeholders in the fight against COVID-19. The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs has said harm to the living must be avoided when burying the body of any Muslim who died as a result of coronavirus infection. This is contained in a set of guidelines issued by the Council on how bodies of Muslims infected with the virus should be buried. The publication of the new guidelines may not be unconnected with the poor ground control mechanism and non-adherence to social distancing rules witnessed during the burial of the late Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Malam Abba Kyari, at an Abuja cemetery on Saturday. The new guidelines, which are contained in a statement issued by NSCIA, a copy of which was made available to Premium Times, noted that the step became necessary following the outbreak of the novel pandemic. The statement, which was signed by the duo of Nasur Sani Gwarzo and Yusuf Woha, the chairman and secretary respectively of a subcommittee set up to develop a comprehensive guideline on best procedure to be adopted in the burial of infected Muslim bodies based on Islamic laws and principles. According to the committee, the new guidelines do not suggest that Islam never had rules guideline its burial practices, but that they were strictly meant to put into consideration the new set of rules occasioned by the new virus. It added that under any circumstance, the religion forbids cremation, and also it's unacceptable for the body of the Muslim victim of the coronavirus disease to be cremated. The statement explained that washing of dead is a collective obligation which is not exempted except under a strong legal justification. And among such legitimate circumstances is to ensure that the disease did not suffer from an infection that could be transmitted to others. The best known rule is that harm of the living must be avoided. The Council therefore advised that to avoid harming others, the body of victims of the virus should be allowed to be prepared by health officials appointed by government, and that the body may be sprinkled with water as much as possible, alternatively by pouring water on the body without physically scrubbing or touching by the hands. Maru Emirates Council in Zamfara State has constituted an Islamic month sighting committee. This is contained in a statement signed and issued to newsmen by the Emirates Secretary Alhaji Umar Maigari. According to the statement, the Emir Alhaji Abubakar Gado Maigari has approved Liman Al-Qali Salisu Suleiman Maru as chairman of the committee and Secretary Malan Yusha Usman Maru with 12 other members. The Emir charged the committee members to carry out their assignment in accordance with Islamic injunctions. He also appealed to the people of the Emirate to give maximum support and cooperation to the committee in order to achieve the desired objective. The death has occurred of Hajia Amina Mzat Anka, aged 70 years. She died in the late hours of Tuesday, April 2020. Late Hajia Amina Mzat Anka has since been buried in Sokoto according to the Islamic rites. She left behind her husband, Ambassador Mzat Anka, 7 children and many grandchildren. Among her children are Jamil Amzat Anka, Deputy Director Zamfara State Ministry of Environment Gusau, Hajia Makia Muhammad Anka, a staff of the Sokoto State University, Sokoto, and Dr. Aisha Muhammad Anka of the Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto. May her soul rest in peace and strengthen the family to bear the loss. Amen. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Coronavirus or COVID-19, the most recent outbreak that has turned to be a global pandemic. Watch how it easily and quickly spreads among humans.
That you can save your life and save the lives of many others by keeping yourself and your environment clean. As part of your civic responsibilities, you should help the government to maintain a clean environment in its determined effort to prevent any outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 in the states. For your own safety, you should ensure regular washing of your hands with soap under running water or use sanitizer. Avoid body contact and avoid big gathering of people. In case you notice any symptoms of coronavirus, like difficulties in breathing, high body temperature, running nose, feverish condition, you should immediately contact any member of the contact committee on the outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 on the following numbers: 081 65 40 86 96, 081 05 00 988, or 080 63 03 53 85. A stitch in time, they say, saves life.
This message is from Standard Voice Television, Svtv, South Zamfara State, Nigeria.
Welcome back on Business. Over to Aguirita.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee (FAAC) showed a total of 780 billion naira as the Federation accounts revenue for March. The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation (OAGF) yesterday in Abuja stated that the three tiers of government and relevant agency shared 780 billion naira at the end of the FAAC meeting. The 780 billion naira comprised statutory revenue, value-added tax, and exchange gain. Also, the balance in the excess crude account grew marginally to $72.22 million. The gross revenue for the month of March 2020 stood at 597.676 billion naira, higher than 466.58 billion naira received in February 2020. Value-added tax yield gross revenue of 120.268 billion naira in March 2020, as against 99.552 billion naira in February 2020, an increase of 20.716 billion naira. A total of 62.928 billion naira was available from exchange gain in the month under revenue. The OAG noted that the statement of accounts indicated that from the total revenue of 780 billion naira, the federal government received 264.330 billion naira, state government received 181.487 billion naira, while local government council received 135.950 billion naira. Also, oil producing states received 38.751 billion naira as 13% derivation revenue, while the cost of revenue collection by revenue agency and allocation to Northeast Development Commission was 160.408 billion naira. According to the statement of accounts, the federal government received 217.773 billion naira from the gross revenue of 597.676 billion naira. The state government received 110.457 billion naira and the local government council received 85.258 billion naira. 32.290 billion naira was given to the relevant state as 13% derivation revenue, and 151.989 billion naira was cost of revenue collection by revenue agents and allocation to NEDC. The federal government received 16.777 billion naira from the VAT revenue of 120.268 billion naira available in March 2020. The state government received 55.925 billion naira. The local government received 39.147 billion naira, while the cost of collection by revenue agency and allocation to NEDC was 8.419 billion naira. And that's on Standard Voice Business Update. Until I come your way again, I'm Ogwa Rita.
And on the international scene. Three journalists have tested positive for coronavirus disease in Mumbai, India. The Joint Secretary of Health Ministry, Love Agarbal, made this known during a televised press conference. He called the development unfortunate and stressed the need to stay indoors unless it was absolutely necessary to go out. The Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation tested 167 journalists for the virus, where 53 results came out positive. The authorities strongly requested all journalists to follow protection during their call of duty. They said they will be following the sampling criteria. Anyone who needs to be tested will be tested. Most of the journalists who tested positive were asymptomatic cases. A journalist in the city, Ashok Bagriya, had asked media houses to facilitate journalists when he tweeted that an entire team had tested positive for the virus. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Governor Matawali approves the constitution of 14-man committee for the distribution of Ramadan welfare package. The Sultanate Council Sokoto has advised Muslims to look out for the new law. Sokoto State has started trees for quarantine. On business, FAC shares 780.93 billion naira for March. And in the international scene, 3 journalists test positive to coronavirus in India. That's the news. On behalf of the production team, head of news and current affairs, Ibrahim Barbazin, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Press Television News. Goodbye.